Okay, ito na siya. Ito na siya. Say hey, babe. Hey, boy. Ito na siya. Let's go over here. Here, do it. You boy, go. Let's say we are here. Okay, nandito na kami sa loob ng Universal. Everything is okay. Si Junior okay na. Tapos dito na siya. Ayun siya. Universal. Hey, your red carpet. Woohoo. Nice. Nice. Okay.
Hello and welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood. For all the latest information on your visit today, such as available rides, shows, and attractions, as well as a park map, be sure to download the
So,
official
tara.
Universal Studios Hollywood
Punta tayo
app.
sa
Free
VIP.
Wi-Fi is available throughout the park and Universal Studios.
VIP right here. VIP. Wait. Let's go. Hi. Good morning.
Right over here?
Sir? Oh yeah, it's on my. How can I say? It's on my Disney Universal Studio ticket. This one, sir?
What should it open with? Because I just need to open that document. Perfect.
There you go, sir. This is a VIP tour lounge.
Party at 5?
Yes, sir.
Where are you guys visiting?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Wow.
Yes, aloha.
I want to go somewhere.
Come visit us over there.
I went when I was in
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not used to wearing jacket over here.
Yeah, I bet.
I know. So far we are on VIP check-in. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. She said that it must have been an issue. Yeah. Alright guys, if everyone can come over this way,
Come.
we're going to get you guys checked in. Welcome to VIP. These are your tickets for the day.
Thank you.
Invisible at all times, okay? You can use these all day, even when you're not with your tour guide.
Yes.
Your tour guide's name today is Lena. You're going to find
Lena.
Lena and the rest of your tour group upstairs, right around 10:30.
Okay.
If you want to go upstairs right now, we have a VIP lounge up there with included beverages and restrooms in the area. And that lounge is where your tour's going to go.
Okay.
So head on upstairs, hang out there if you want, but if you want to look at the park, just go to the door.
Okay.
You get upstairs by 10:30.
10:30 upstairs. Okay.
So we have a water ride Jurassic Park.
Oh, thank you so much.
These are
This is nice.
okay.
Thank you.
That's just the right hand side.
Thank you so much. There you go. Nice. Here you go. This is the VIP lounge. VIP lounge. Ooh. Ito yung mga napapanood ko sa YouTube, VIP lounge. Nice, ang ganda oh. VIP tour. Go! Go eat! So far so good ang kanilang, oh, may mga buffet din sila. Nice. Refreshing, refresh. Ganda oh. Ganda ang mga VIP nila. VIP. See? Wow. Ganito pala ang experience ng VIP. First time na namin VIP. See? Nice. First time na mag-VIP ba? So, sarap ah. Dapat pala hindi na kami nag-breakfast. Dito na nag-breakfast na. Go outside. Go sit down outside. Ano yan? So, try natin lumabas. Labas tayo. Wow! Dito tayo kakain. Ooh, ma-heater sila. Ang ganda oh. Ooh, malamig pero ma-heater. Wow! Maraming tao. Ang tour time namin is 10:30. So, dito mo namin kakain. Sit down na ba yan? Dito kami kakain. Baka sakaling may... Okay. Ayan, dyan ka muna ha. Ayan.
Once we get there, we're going to be chilling on a trolley. Before we get going, did anybody do valet today? Did you guys get validated? Okay, good. And did everybody grab a poncho for Jurassic World? If you do lose one, I have about 4 more extras, so don't panic if you lose it, okay? Let's head on this way, my friend.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. We start now. We start now. That's our tour. Isa na ang aming tour. Isa na ang aming tour. Isa na ang aming tour. Senior.
Look, Daddy.
Look. Isa na ang aming tour. Ayan siya. Ayan. Yung tour namin nasarap. Kaya na. Daming tao. Grabe. siya. Okay. Ten, ten. So, di namin alam kung saan kami, anong dadalhin pa namin. So, mamaya. Oh, ang dami, grabe. Daming tao. Ayun, tour namin. Grabe, ang daming tao.
Christmas, sorry to scare you. And all the Christmas ceremonies are happening there. At the end of our day, I'll tell you more about that, alright?
Oh, look at Junior. Junior, did you see that? Quick. Quick. Then, nakikita niyo yun, no? Yun na ano. So far si Junior yung pinakabata sa group namin. Meron kami 11 kami lahat dito sa group. So yan, tara, enjoy lang tayo dito. Enjoy. Oh, that's Harry Potter. Look, Harry Potter. Ano to? So, this one lang. Tanda mo Harry Potter on the left side, on the right side. Epic show. Harry Potter? Let's go. Ito, wala pang line. Keep right. Oh, keep right. Sorry. I know. Ooh. Ano yan? King. What was that? I know, yeah. Anong tawag yan? Oh. Lower lot. Oh, ano yung lower lot na yan? So may punta namin yan. Mamaya pupunta namin yan. So yun. Ayan, tour studio. First store studio right here. Ayan o. Ayan siya. Ano yung castle? Look, Junior. Is it part of Harry Potter? Oh, mamaya yan. Mamaya yung pipicture tayo dyan mamaya. Dapat pala nagdala tayong tripod, no? Oh, studio tour. Sige, mamaya lobat na yung cellphone ko. No, mommy. Ooh, what's this? Pag-booklock ang end natin doon po. Ooh, nice view. We have a nice view there. Ooh, nice. Oh, ito yung, this is the one we saw, right? At the hotel. Oh my God. No. No. Ganyan, look. That's one. On the right side. Is that, look. Harry Potter castle. Asan yung tour guide natin? Hindi na papagod yung tour guide niya. Lagi niya siya lagi. Nakataas yung kamay niya. Nakataas yung kamay niya. Grabe, ang daming tao. Sobrang asking.
So again, about 150 people. We're gonna be doing something a little bit different.
Studio tour. Studio tour. Yeah. This goes on here. Studio tour. Nice one. Ganyan. Ganyan. May wait time. Nabuti hindi na mapagod siya. Nakaganyan siya lagi. Nakataas lagi. Yeah. Okay. Mag-ride kami. Una mo. Oh. Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure.
Oh, studio tour muna kami. Okay. Studio tour. Kailangan nasa ano tayo. Kailangan meron kayong ano yan. Kaya mauna tayo sa ano. Sa go find a food that you on the window.
Great timing, everybody. So,
Come on.
upstairs. So, don't forget to take your lunch, and I'm gonna go check if they're ready for us right now.
That's our trolley over there. I'll get you guys one before we get on.
Tara na. Uy.
If you guys are good on photos, feel free to jump on it. We can get a photo for you before you head out.
Yep. Okay. First tour namin is the studio tour. Later, I will fix it. Maybe the battery. I told you, change the battery. Maganda sa ano, maganda yung you find that you are on. Okay. Pasok namin sa tour. Sige yan. I'll go this side. Diyan yan. Okay. Sige yan. Kita niya lang yun. Kita niya. dalawa sila. Say hi.
Does anybody need cold water before we get started? Great. Any point of the tour, if you need a water, just let Lena or myself know. We'll pop this up for you guys, okay?
Ayun yung tour. Tour ng isa, si Robert, tour guide ng isang group. And our group tour guide is Lina. Lina.
Oh, it was in the break room. It was like adopt a reindeer or whatever. I was like,
Am I about to adopt an entire
yeah, and I was like, this is gonna be a responsibility.
Is this my identity?
All right, everybody. Is this a good volume for everybody? Can everybody hear me? Is it not too loud? Great. Okay, so welcome, everybody. How's your morning going so far? Yeah, it's pretty chill. I love it. I love starting with the studio tour because we just get to kind of be driven around like the VIPs that we are, right? So it's great. So welcome aboard our VIP trolley. For those of you that are like, who is she? I'm Lena. Nice to meet you. And for those of you looking at this beautiful man on the side seat, this is Robert. Everybody say hi, Robert.
Hi.
Yeah. So Robert and
Thank you.
So Robert and I are going to be teaming up together to show you the studio tour today. But listen, Robert and I are nothing compared to our driver today. Please give the hugest round of applause for Dixie. So she's going to start here. She's going to be driving us around our nearly 400-acre lot, which is great because we will be doing more walking in the theme park today. So that's a good ringtone. So, you know, it's good that we kind of get to chill for a little bit. Before we get started on the official tour, just a couple of safety rules. We do ask that you remain seated when the trolley is in motion. And do get ready, you're going to experience some crazy stuff on the tour today. We got sudden movement, fire effects, and water effects. Like Robert said, if you would like a cold water, just let us know. It's pretty heavy and it has a spring, so we'll take care of that. And since we will be getting off of our trolley at some points today, please watch your step. I don't know why they designed it like this, but people trip every single time, and I don't want that to be you today, so please watch your step when we're getting off the trolley. Sound good? All right, perfect. So let's get started, folks. We're going down our Universal timeline right now. If you look on either side of the trolley, you're going to see we got posters. Posters on posters on posters. And you know what? These just represent some of the thousands of movies that we've produced here at Universal. Now, we've been open for more than 106 years. Is it 107 now or 106?
Wow, 1979.
107, you guys. Oh my goodness. A lot of time. And you know,
Back in the
since then,
future,
we've probably created some
1985 pala siya.
TV shows, movies, even commercials probably, honestly. We do it all here. Take a look on your right. Hello. These are firefighters, and they are real, as well as the building. It's actually one of the last real
Watch
things
your
you
arms,
look at.
guys. Watch
Oh
your
yes,
arms.
we are gonna pull up the windows today, so you can get the nice breeze.
Yay!
Oh, that's the first ride today. Whoa. Yes.
Movie magic.
You get it. Now, with that being said, since those are open, if you have anything of value on the outside pockets, go ahead and move it to the side. If you do drop anything, don't panic. Just let me or Robert know. We'll stop the trolley and get it for you. And perfect timing, we've officially made it to the Universal Studios lot. Wah, wah, wah. So we're here, everybody. Take a look over there on your left. You're going to see our soundstage 12. And I know we had some guest asking, is this where you guys shot Stargate? It is, yes. It actually used to be home to The Voice. That's why it says The Voice on there. But
hold on.
other stages.
2017, okay.
I mean, if you look on your screen, you're going to see just how many iconic sets have been built inside of our soundstage 12. It's pretty ridiculous. That's the great thing about sound stages. They're big warehouses. They're basically like little set factories where we can create whatever your imagination can come up with. That's over here on the left, we got our sound stages 2019 and 18, currently being used for a new show called Bel Air. It's going to be a dramatic take on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which is enough for me to be interested, so I can't wait to see it. Got our sound stages 16 and 17, also being used for an HBO show. It's called Hacks. They're filming their second season. You know what? I watched the first season. I really liked it. Have you seen it? It's really, yeah, James Clark's in it, so it's very good. And you know what?
ito pala yung
Hacks has really set up their base camp over here. They got tons of trucks, which will likely hold lighting or camera equipment, maybe some props and costumes. But we got our Star Wagons, which are the dressing rooms for the actors on the show. I don't think they're here today. They're probably on vacation, just like you guys. But you know, this is usually where they come for their 9 to 5. You can also hear Soundstage 21. They're using it for Hacks as well, but before Hacks, it's been used for a lot of great movies. In fact, they built Mission Control Center in there for Apollo 13, directed by Ron Howard. And speaking of Ron Howard, they also built the Grinch's Lair for my favorite Christmas movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. And I think some of the best scenes in that movie are in the Grinch's Lair, so I love that soundstage. And we're moving it right along, and we have tons of sound stages, as you can see here in our front lot, or on the right-hand side. These that you're seeing right now are being used for a show by creator Miss Mindy Kaling. If you don't know who she is, you might remember her as Kelly Kapoor from The Office. She made a show called Never Have I Ever, which streams on Netflix. And right now, they're in the middle of filming their 3rd season in those sound stages right over there. Behind our Illumination Entertainment sign, we got more sound stages that are being used for a show called Mr. Mayor, which stars Ted Danson and Holly Hunter. You can see the poster for that show right on top of that
Ito yung mga
sound
ano,
stage. You know what, that's Ted Danson.
yung mga
On the left, you got
ang tawag doon sa
Ted
movie.
Drinkin. Hi, Ted! He's so happy to see us. Happy holidays, Ted. Now behind Ted, you can see we got little houses. Now they look like houses, but they're not. They actually used to be dressing rooms for a lot of big stars in the golden age of Hollywood. Stars like Rock Hudson, Tony Curtis, and Doris Day. Now back in that time, they were probably contract players, meaning that they had a contract with Universal, and that meant that they were going to be here for a long time. So we wanted to make sure their dressing rooms were very comfortable, very homey, hence why they look like this. But nowadays, dressing rooms are very mobile. We saw those Star Wagons just a little bit ago, so now we use these as production offices for a lot of writers, directors, and producers. In fact, we have one of my favorite producers coming up over here on the left-hand side. You're going to see there's a sign, a white little sign that has an MP over there. Stands for Mark Platt. Now, it's on the right of a Wicked balloon because he's a huge producer on Broadway. He's made Wicked, Dear Evan Hansen, and he is in the works of making a film adaptation of Wicked that's going to star Ariana Grande. This is going to be the Ariana Grande tour for you. So over there on the left, you can see 5195, one of our most famous bungalows here on the front lot. Now currently it's home to the De Laurentiis Company. They're responsible for making The Legend of Hannibal Lecter. But before that, they were the offices of the incomparable master of suspense, Mr. Alfred Hitchcock, who of course directed Psycho, Vertigo, and The Birds. And we kind of keep that little silhouette of his face on the right-hand side of the door because, well, he was a big deal, and we'll be talking more about him later on the tour. Now, as you can see, we're creeping slowly over here because we're leaving behind our front lot, okay? Now, welcome to the back lot, everybody. Now, we have a saying, we like to say that it's business in the front lot and a party in the back lot, you guys, because in our back lot, we have huge exterior sets. You take a look on your right-hand side, you're going to see a little glimpse of our Metropolitan sets. But don't worry, we are VIPs, okay? Regular guests don't get to do what we're about to do. We're going to step off the trolley, we're going to walk through these sets so you can see them a little bit more up close and personal, and truly, these are my favorite sets. I love big cities, and that's exactly what this is. I'll tell you more in just a bit, but really quick, when we get off the trolley, watch your step. You can leave your bags on here, okay? Just make sure you put them under your seats because Dixie will be moving the trolley. Feel free to grab water, and I will meet you down there.
Yeah, you can put here. You put here. And go. It's okay, just go. Yep. Ito yung sinasabi niyang
Ito sinishooting ba?
yeah, ito, dito kami ngayon. Nasa baba kami. Oh, ha? No. Backlot. Later on the Spider-Man, you can see the Home Alone. You see the Home Alone?
Kasi no, yung ba sinasabi
See?
mo?
Yeah.
There's one.
Look at the back. Look at the back. Hi.
Okay, everybody. So, welcome. So, our Metropolitan sets are huge. They're probably like the most wide area here on our back lot. And I love this area because it has a lot of versatility. Once you turn the corner, you're kind of in a new place every time. So where are we right now? We're in our Brownstone Street, and it gets its name for the brownstone apartments that you're seeing over there. Now I really love this area because it kind of showcases how cool our exterior sets are. So let's paint a picture, shall we? So let's say we're making a movie. What's your name? Mike? Okay, this is gonna be called Mike's Day. What do you isn't that a good name?
Mikey
Okay.
Day.
Mikey Day, perfect. Mikey Day. Okay, so our protagonist, Mikey, is waking up in his brownstone apartment, right? He's coming down the stairs, you know, waking up, saying hello to his neighbors, whatever. We cut, right? Now, normally in Hollywood, you can get a shot here, and then if you want to get a shot of him going to work, you might have to like drive across town or go somewhere else. Not here on the Backlot, because right in front of it, we have this very corporate-looking building, right? So Mikey comes into work, and he's late because Mikey's always late. Boo, Mikey! What did you do? So Mikey's going into work, and are you gonna demonstrate for us? Stop. Okay, so yeah, so Mikey goes in. Okay, then we cut, right? Then we pick up where we came off. So Mikey's getting out of work. He has a date. Mikey, stop. So Mikey's going on a date to Central Park. Central Park? Do you want us to go all the way to Central Park? Nope. We got to park right over there in the middle. So that's the great thing about this area. We have 3 diverse locations all in one area. And that is a miracle for filmmakers because time is money in Hollywood, okay? So if you have to go to a bunch of different places,
ito pala
that's just gonna waste
yun.
your time, right? Now everything that you're seeing is fake. Welcome to Hollywood, folks.
Welcome to
so
Hollywood.
Those buildings that you're seeing over there are what we call facades. There's nothing inside of them. If you were to open the buildings, you would see there's just like wood panelings, right? However, this is a really good example of what we call a practical set. So you can actually fill this whole area with a real set. It has a full interior with open space, which is really, really good. Another thing that I want to point out about this building, if you're a fan of The Voice or sometimes competition shows, you know when they're like, oh, we have our auditionees going into the corporate buildings in wherever they're saying we are. Sometimes we'll just use this. And these people will just pretend to go into the corporate building, which is so funny. Or they'll be like, I grew up in New York. And then they'll just have them like here in front of the brownstone apartments. Everything's a lie, you guys, but that's the great thing about Hollywood, you know? But apart from how diverse this place is, we film here all the time. So those brownstone apartments were actually used in a Christmas classic. Does anybody know of a little movie called Home Alone 2 Lost in New York?
Yes.
So there's a scene where Macaulay Culkin is standing on top of the apartments, and it's nighttime, and he's terrorizing the wet bandits. He's like throwing bricks at them. That was right over there. Now Macaulay Culkin is a child actor, and we do have child labor laws. They can't go past a certain time. So he wasn't allowed to be here late at night. They actually had to put a giant tarp over our sets to make it look like nighttime when really it was like probably noon or something like that. Now again, that's a great thing about filming here on a studio. Instead of filming on location, you have a lot more versatility. Other than that, we've used these same apartments for scenes of Bruce Almighty with Mr. Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. Also scenes of the Mindy Project. And if anybody saw Gone Girl, there's a scene where they're leaving. I believe they live in Buffalo, New York, something like that. And they're leaving their apartments. They just shot that here really quick. So we use it all the time, and you gotta love this area. But I want to show you a different part of our lot. And to get there is no better way than to go down a sketchy, dark alleyway. Let's go.
Ito na.
And feel free to get as many pictures as you want. If you want me or Robert to get a really good picture, we're professional photographers on our days off, so let us know.
So they can shoot like five buildings over here. Oh, more than that in one day. Yeah? Tell me. I think this is a Spider-Man, yeah?
To our sketchy dark alleyway.
I think
This is perfect for scenes where someone's getting in a fight or someone's about to get mugged, you know. It's just kind of a little area, but I do want you guys to touch the walls if you're comfortable doing that, because you will see exactly how fake everything is. It looks like brick. Sometimes it's foam, plastic, anything to, you know, make it look like real brick.
Tap on the metal drainage pipe. It's wood.
it's wood.
Everything's fake. Once again. Let's stress this enough. Now we're going to do a grand reveal over here, but I do want you guys to be careful. We do have
Parang
trams
totoo,
out here,
tignan mo
okay?
talaga.
So we're going to
See?
wait for this train to
Look,
pass,
see?
and then we're
Ganda
going to go
pagkagawa
left.
nila.
I'm going to see if you guys can guess what we're about to see before we go in there. I'm going to give you a clue. This set was seen as 3 different locations and time periods in one movie. The 1950s, the 1980s, and the futuristic year of 2015. Anybody know who it is? Or what it is? What is it?
Rutherford Falls.
Rutherford. Because you're reading the sign?
You said it.
So, what did you say? Back to the future.
Back
That's
to
right,
the
everybody.
future.
And you can wave to the trams because they might think you're famous, or do the classics like I don't want to be pictured, whatever you're feeling. Okay. Come this way. You were right. It is Back to the Future. Welcome to
Back of the future. Oh, ito, meron din nagtutour doon, oh. Ito kaganda ng VIP tour. Bumababa ka. Yun. Kung naabutan nyo yung Back of the Future.
Now do me a favor.
Do you know the Back of the Future?
Just try not
No?
to step on the grass, okay? Try to stay on the path if you can.
If the grass real or fake?
The grass is one of the real
Oh.
things, actually, which is why we're asking not to step on it.
Okay.
David called.
Nice. So pwede sila mag-film dito ng ilang
Alright, welcome everybody.
ilang ano,
So,
ilang
this is what we
ilang
call
shoot sa
Courthouse
building.
Square. I'm gonna give you a
Oh.
little bit of history
See?
before we get into some pictures, because I'm sure some of you might want pictures with this lovely City Hall / clock tower from Back to the Future. So this area is called Courthouse Square. It was actually used for the 1960 classic To Kill a Mockingbird. So this was Mockingbird Square for a very long time. However, one of the first things to ever film here was actually the first Twilight episode ever, called Where Did Everybody Go, right? So it's this episode where a man wakes up and he can't find anybody. There's just no one, and they filmed it out here. Now, To Kill a Mockingbird used this area for quite a long time, but I think this area really became iconic when they decided to film Back to the Future here, right? Now, they were looking at different areas, but they found this one. It looks enough like a small town, right? That you could go, yeah, Hill Valley, California, that works. And this area over here, or this City Hall structure, is the clock tower. It's actually behind this. This is just a shell that covers up that original clock tower. However, if you look at this, it still looks enough like Back to the Future. So definitely get some pictures in just a second. But I know you were like, is this Rutherford Falls? Yes, because if you look around, we have this completely decorated right now. And this is so special because it's not a lot of times that we get to come into a set that's like actively being used for a show. Now they are on break right now because of the holidays, but they've been filming the second season of a show called Rutherford Falls that streams on Peacock, which is our NBC streaming platform. It stars Ed Helms. If you've ever seen The Office, he was Andy, or the dentist from The Hangover. And it's about this new northeastern like town, which is why everything says like ye old tech zone, ye old everything, right? It's very like classic American, and that's what these set decorations are for. So do me a favor, if you want to get a picture with this, be our guest. Me and Robert would be more than happy to help you out. However, the best area to kind of get a picture is usually a little further away so you can see more of it. But however you want to do it, we'd be more than happy to help. So we can set up 2 lines if you want to do that, or take pictures wherever you like. Just don't get hit by a tram, please. Would you guys like a picture?
Yes, please.
Of course.
Han. Oops. There you go, ma'am.
Yes, of course.
Let's go there.
All right, ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You're beautiful. We'll do one like
Can we
this.
can we take mask?
1. Do you want to take off your mask with this?
Yeah. Let's take a mask. It's okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Yes. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. So tignan mo sila, ayan o. Sila, ayan yung regular na ano. Kapag hindi ka pupunta, ayan o. Ganyan lang sila o. Hindi sila pwedeng bumaba. Kami bababa kami.
And we're going to change really simple things, like we'll change the landscaping, the way the set is decorated, maybe repaint, remodel, anything so that these sets look just a little bit different each time that you see them on screen. And that way, our audience doesn't pick up that Universal has been using the same sets for decades, over and over, just repainting them, remodeling, kind of changing things up a little bit. And it's not just our productions, we have a lot of
We go take picture over here. Han, come here.
Hi, Tito. Real ba yan?
Real.
It's convincing enough, right? It's maybe not as real to us, but on camera, everything looks pretty real. In fact, if you've ever seen someone in New York in a movie, there's a high chance that they filmed it here, which is pretty cool. Now, this street itself, we call New York Street, but it doesn't always appear as New York. This is kind of vaguely the essence of a big city, and we keep it vague enough that we can change up the set decorations to make it look like another place or even another time period. For example, we have these big street lamps everywhere. Those aren't permanent. We can easily take them out, put in a gas lamp, and make it look like the 1940s. In fact, do we have any Captain America fans? Someone, yeah, of course. Okay, so Captain America, the First Avenger, there's this big scene in the beginning where, you know, Chris Evans is like, I have superpowers. And he's running down the streets of 1940s Brooklyn, and he's just jumping on cars. That was here, and they decorated to make it look like 1940s Brooklyn, which is so cool. Speaking of bigger movies, the first Transformers, there's an end scene where they have this big battle with the Decepticons. That was right here. What's crazy about that is that that was supposed to be downtown Los Angeles. And downtown Los Angeles is like, what, 30 minutes from here? It's not that far at all. But again, if you're trying to film on location, you have to get the police involved, you have to close down a street, and if people live there, that's like a really big deal. Too much money, too much time. She's like, no, that would not work. You're right, it would. So what do? You come to our backlot, and our only rule is you just gotta leave it the way you found it. But other than that, do what you gotta do. So Michael Bay did exactly that. He actually put shells all over these sets so he could blow them up for that scene, which is so cool, right? Whatever you want to do, a lot of creative. Also, if you're a fan of some TV shows, I really love the show How I Met Your Mother, and that is based in New York, and they actually shot some scenes out here and made it look just like New York, which is pretty easy because it already looks like New York. Also scenes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Any Nine-Nine fans? You're my girl. I was like, have you seen this? Of course you have. And if we love music, actually Billie Eilish was here not too long ago doing an Amazon like video. What would you call that? It was like a Amazon short film? Prime special, sure, where she made them look like Paris, France. So it doesn't even have to be an American city. In fact, they made it look like London for Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. So we use it all the time. I definitely love these sets. And one more thing I want to point out is that this place is all full of illusions, right? Nothing is real, and these buildings are not nearly as tall as the ones you would see in New York City, right? So if you take a look at the windows, we're using something that's called forced perspective. So look closely, you're going to see that the windows get smaller and smaller with each level, right? When there's nothing up there, these are on the top. So we do that so it tricks the camera and your eyes, again, to thinking these are taller than they really are.
Oh.
And these are all scenes from before. Kind of on purpose. It does look like natural wear and tear, and some of it is, but some of it was painted on, right? To make it look like a real dirty New York street, which is pretty cool if I do say so myself. Robert, do you know what this is for? Okay. Well, thank you very much. That was very helpful. They must be getting this set ready for something. I know that Mr. Mayor was filming out here not too long ago, and a show called Keenan that stars Keenan Thompson. So we might be for that. Who knows? But yeah, feel free to get some pictures. We are in the Big Apple, so you know, pose, do what you gotta do. We'll be more than happy to help you. And then where's our trolley? Is it right there? Yeah, whenever you're ready, you can start heading back on the trolley. And we are going to give you some 3D classes because we have something very exciting coming up. Okay?
Nice.
We're getting 3D glasses.
Huh?
We're getting 3D glasses.
3D glasses.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk like, just like, wait. Go over there. Go over there. Finish. Mag-walk muna kami. Wait, over there. Go over there. Let's go. Huh? Let's go.
We're gonna go on the boat.
3D glasses. Let's see.
I think a lot of most of those like 311. Alright, so I gave you 4. One for you is you can take these, yeah.
Which one? No, we have.
One for you as well, just in case. Alright, welcome back guys.
Can I
Thank
keep
you.
these?
You unfortunately no.
No.
Back at the end.
Of course.
You can hop on, once you got your glasses, you can hop on board guys.
Okay.
Oh, you got a whole long chain. Yep.
Universal Studio. Let's go. Oop. Yep. 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 No, you just put over here. Yeah. Ito ang 3D. Oh. 3D glass. 3D glasses. 3D glasses. Pag nagpa-fog siya, pinsulihan your mask. Nagpa-fog siya. Nagpa-fog yung ano pag humihinga ka. Okay, ito 3D. Itong binigay sa amin 3D glass, so ewan ko saan kami next.
Alright, welcome back. What did you guys think of our Metropolitan sets? Really cool, right?
Yes.
Area. Maybe I should move to New York. Maybe I just really love New York. Anyway, so welcome. We're going to be driving up the street, and I pointed out the illusion with the windows, but another cool illusion, if you notice the street kind of like curves, right? We're driving straight here, but it curves that way. And if you look behind us, where they have that construction with the crane, it also curves that way as well. Now that's done on purpose. It's so if you're shooting a shot like this, it has the illusion that it keeps going on for miles, right? Because if you look, it actually ends right over there, right? So that wouldn't be a good place to get a shot, because then you'd be like, what is that? That's not New York, right? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, super cool area. Also, since Spider-Man No Way Home came out just a little bit ago, if you look over there on the left, you got that theater behind us. That was used in Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. There's a scene where he's running late to Mary Jane's show. That was right over there.
You think that's
You know what,
big,
let's
yeah?
say goodbye to our concrete
Ganun lang
jungle.
pala
We have a
sila.
very special treat. We're going to the literal jungle right now, guys. So we're going to experience King Kong 360 To do that, we're going to hand it over to the director of the 2005 version, Mr. Peter Jackson. Take it away, Peter.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Makikita mo ba to?
I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, you know, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Yes, we're about to return to Skull Island, so it's going to be a very bumpy ride. So we do ask that, as always, you remain seated, but definitely hold on to those belongings, okay? If you drop it in here, there's a good chance you might never see it again. So hold on to those belongings, 3D glasses ready.
Nandito kami sa 3D glass.
Okay, last try again.
Wow! Wow! Hey! 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 Wow! Go ahead. Hey! Oh, grabe oh. Sa bangin kami oh.
Alright, everybody, give it up for King Kong! Super cool, right? I love that attraction. Now, go ahead and take off the 3D glasses, but do me a big favor and hold on to them, okay? We're gonna need them later on the tour. Just the best, right? So cool. I love that area. You go in a building, you're in the jungle. What in the world happened? Well, you just experienced one of the largest 3D experiences in the entire world. So we're super honored to have it here at Universal Studios. Now, it was created with the help of director Peter Jackson, who we just heard from, and his amazing team at Weta Digital. Now, has anyone heard of Weta Digital before? Okay, well, let me tell you this. You definitely see that in some of their movies. Now, they're a digital company that's based out of New Zealand. They work hand in hand with Peter Jackson, and they've done the digital effects for huge movies like Avengers, Deadpool, Wonder Woman, and more recently, Shang-Chi, and even The Eternals. So they're at the cutting edge of technology, and of course, they did an amazing job with that experience, as you just saw. Now, if you were paying close attention when all those dinosaurs and King Kong were fighting, somewhere in the mix, tram got thrown in there. Did everybody see the tram with all the people? Now, Robert, isn't that what always happens when regular guests try to be VIP guests, right? They get eaten by dinosaurs, that's right. Don't sneak in with us. Now, when we saw the tram, we consider that a picture car, okay? A picture car is any car you've ever seen in a movie or a TV show. And listen, here at Universal, we love our picture cars, so we have a couple picture car areas for you today on the tour. The first one is coming up on the left-hand side, so get your cameras ready, my friends. Now, the first that we're going to see is actually Hit from the 2008 reboot of Knight Rider, which is voiced by Val Kilmer. Next to that, you're going to see Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum P.I. Now, it looks pretty realistic, right? That is not a real Ferrari. It's actually a Volkswagen engine with a fiberglass exterior. You got Finn's car from Back to the Future, and a couple more Back to the Future Part 2 cars.
Oh, this
now,
the
these
one.
are supposed to be from the futuristic year of 2015, which is crazy because we're on the verge of 2022, and our cars do not look like that, okay? So we're waiting. We're behind you guys. Speaking of the past, we got our Flintstone cars. Now, in the movies, you probably remember they would use their little feet to drive these cars. Well, that wasn't the case. These are actually golf carts that were repurposed for the movie, which is pretty cool. And, of course, we can't be talking about picture cars without mentioning one of Universal's biggest franchises, the Fast and Furious. We got two from Too Fast and Furious. And I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with these movies, but we've made 9 so far.
This one?
We have 2 more in the works, which is pretty ridiculous. Any Fast and Furious fans on
this one too?
Yeah, it's always at least one because they're so huge, like, someone has to watch them, right? Someone has to. Speaking of franchises, we got our Jurassic Park and Jurassic World vehicles and some Transformers. Now, you're going to see a giant tank-like vehicle over here. Take a good look at it, right? It looks pretty realistic. It's supposed to be a Bradley fighting vehicle. But, believe it or not, this is completely made out of wood, you guys. It just has a really good paint job. Now, a lot of the cars that you see in big action movies like this will be made out of lightweight materials, whether it be wood or fiberglass, you know, so we can throw them up in the air for those big action scenes, making it more lightweight. And so we don't have to keep, you know, blowing up expensive cars. That would be a lot of money, you guys. And time is money. Yeah, exactly. Very good. So now we're headed to a very special place, to Robert's Park. We're headed to a little island off the coast of Costa Rica. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yes, welcome, everybody. We got a little Jurassic Park area over here. Lots of utilities and shops in the first three movies. And of course, another picture car. On the left, you're seeing the mobile bag that was featured in the Lost World Jurassic Park, the second installment. Now, very exciting news. We were able to get some dinosaurs out here. Okay, real dinosaurs. On your right, you're gonna... Where did the dinosaurs go? Robert, did they escape again? Oh, no. I'm so sorry, everybody. It happens from time to... Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. You guys, I think I just dropped my phone back there. Okay, Vicky, we're gonna have to go back. Yeah, I dropped my phone right over there. It's like a black icon. I really need it. It's really important. Let's see. Is that it? No, that's a branch. No, that's a branch. No, that's a branch. Oh, look at my pocket. Sorry, you guys. Look at my pocket the whole time. Right here, I literally have like a little thing to hold it. That's silly me. Silly me. And then, if you thought that was crazy, get ready. This will come up on the right in 5, 4, 3, 2. Just kidding, it doesn't do anything. Nobody was scared. Perfect. Ah, there it is. Yay! Alright, so we saw that mobile lab a little bit ago. I want to show you the scene in which they used it. It's a really cool scene. Take a look. So this is a really good example of how weather effects in a scene can really hide and escape. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in this scene, but the thunderstorm is getting in the middle of the atmosphere and making it, well, a lot crazier. Now, weather effects are so important to a script, but when you're filming in a place like sunny Southern California, it can be hard to get it to rain when you need it to. So what do? When you take matters into your own hands, so we're going to do just that. We're going to do a little weather demonstration. To do that, we headed down to Old Mexico. Bienvenidos, amigos. Now, our Old Mexico looks like a little pueblito in Mexico, but it doesn't look like essentially any country in Latin America with it.
Look, Dinger.
Change of decorations and also features as and using many zones and the kingdom of the Christmas light.
What is that? Lightning?
Started, we got thunder and lightning, got the sound effects, and strip light. This would usually be added in post-production, but for the purpose of this, we'll do it now. Can we do some rain, please? We'll just do the rain. 3, 2, thank you. Alright, so we got rain, everybody. And this is actually made possible by a very complicated, yes.
There's a phone over there.
There's a phone? Yeah. Can you call that in? It's not your phone, right? Okay. Oh, damn. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and call that in. Thank you so much.
Nice one,
I hope that phone is going to be okay because you guys, it's raining really hard. And if you don't stop the rain,
there's a phone right there.
I'm getting a very strong feeling that a flash flood is coming down right now. So watch out.
Look, the flashlight. Ooh! Wow! Ate Daniela. Wow, this is how this is. Oh boy.
If that phone wasn't already done, was it dry or did it like get so?
A little bit wet.
Okay. Yeah. This is. Let's take a moment of silence for the phone. There's an answer. Oh, okay, fine. Everything's like our fine. Oh no, just kidding. All phones are the same. Yeah, equal rights for phones. Very good. Alright, but what you just saw is one of the oldest attractions on the studio tour. It's been here since basically we opened up our doors in the early 1900s, which is really cool. But they have used in some productions. If you look at your screen, you're seeing a scene from Big Fat Liar, a movie with America's sweetheart, Frankie Muniz. We'll see about that. And there goes Paul Giamatti up the hill, Paul Giamatti stunt double down the hill. So there we go. And you know what, we're going to head on out of here. We've seen enough of the South, now we're headed west, my friends. the Old Wild West.
Wild West.
Texas, everybody. So these are some of the oldest sets on our lot. In fact, some of these buildings date back to the early 1910s and 1920s when we did a lot of silent films out here. But they were really popular in the heyday of westerns through the 60s and 70s. So lots of classics like Winchester 73 and My Little Chickadee between Lincoln and Way West. Some of our oldest sets but still used to this day. In fact, Quentin Tarantino shot Once Upon a Time in Hollywood right over there. Did anybody see that movie? Yes! Okay, if you haven't, this is your homework. Go watch it. It's a really cool movie. Kids, don't watch it. Adults, watch it. There you go. Now, over here on the left, we have some trees. Behind those trees, a giant body of water. Now, this is a man-made lake that we call Park Lake. However, some of you might know it better as the Black Lagoon, or from the creature from the Black Lagoon. And you know, I'm bringing up this creature because right now we are headed to the birthplace of the Universal Monster. Okay, this is going to be another VIP set visit, and it's actually the most anticipated area of our tour, not because we're visiting one of the most historic areas of our backlot, but because we have a bathroom break. Hooray! So, we're going to go through those little, like that door that has the red around it. That's where the bathroom is. If you need to go, this will be the only restroom break for the tour, so feel free to go now. And whenever you're ready, we're going to meet you on the grass, okay, everybody? So come on down, either bathrooms or grass. And now, Robert's going to take over for the tour.
I'm no Lena, but I'll do my best.
Yeah. Lena, can we still gonna bring this one, Lena? No need.
Leave them on your seat.
Okay. Go.
Feel free to grab some water, watch your step.
Right. Yeah. Do you need this?
As fans, you might recognize there was an episode where they had a fountain that spit out clam chowder.
Kala mo totoo, no? Yung look like real.
Has anyone seen the original Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl? The very first one? Yeah. You might remember in the first movie, there was a scene where Johnny Depp is running away from the redcoats. And he hides out in an alcove behind a statue.
Oh.
The redcoats run by, and then he goes into Will Turner's blacksmith shop, and they meet for the first time. Now, do you think there's a blacksmith shop in here? Absolutely not. In fact, that location was on Disney ABC Studios about 2-3 miles away from here. And then at the end of the scene, he jumps into the Caribbean Ocean. Do you think that was here? No, it was at the actual Caribbean. They filmed 3 different places and then spliced all of that footage together. Now you can see this section, it looks different even from up there. That is because, again, the Good Place knew they were never going to see the second floor. So they did some renovations here, but why pay to change something they were never actually going to see on camera? Now when they were moving out, Universal was like, no, we love it, we'll leave it just like this. So we got it right here. This street, this area we're on right now has been home to a lot of fantasy. I'll let that train go by so you can actually hear me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If anyone's a fan of Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, this is the fictional country of Genovia. In fact, the big parade scene where Kelly Clarkson plays in the background.
You know the Princess Genovia?
Like Abigail Breslin, the rest of the orphanage.
The one
that was
they
this street
parade.
right over here. If any of you saw City Slickers with Billy Crystal, there's that Running of the Bulls scene, which was that corner down there. That's a little bit more of a deep cut. If any of you guys remember that Geico commercial, Running of the Bulldogs, where it's kind of in slow-mo and the man trips and all the bulldog puppies come out and run over him. That's the same exact corner over here. I'm very excited to mention this. So, Cinderella, Roger Hammerstein's Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston and Victor Garber. This is also the Magical Kingdom. Ironically enough, Brandy herself was standing here yesterday. She took a VIP tour literally 24 hours ago, so she was also right in this area. If you walk with me a little bit this way, you guys fans of the Muppets? The Muppets movie with Jason Segel and Amy Adams. This was France. Kermit the Frog shows up wearing a turtleneck sweater to pick up Miss Piggy from her French fashion job. They put like a French flag, they had a green screen with a fake Eiffel Tower, and then this one corner was France in that movie. Have you follow me over here? So remember, when we're filming, camera angles are everything. So when you're standing in here, you can see a lot of different styles. And that is for a reason. Good Place filmed for 4 years. In the middle of that 4 years, SEAL Team 6 came in to film an episode. So this area was like a war-torn Middle Eastern country. So they painted it like this, sort of ash, burnt out, broken windows behind you. Once they were done, it had to go back to being the good place. But they only needed to worry about what the good place would see. So if the camera pointed down here, it would see these two walls. If the camera pointed down here, it would see that wall. But since no one would ever see right here, they never had to change it back because no one was gonna see it. And then the last section, though, you're going to point out right over here.
Active na. Junior.
Maybe not all that bad. What is the bad place like?
Alright, so I always like to, I'm a huge game person. I like board games, I like video games, I like sport games. So I like to play a lot of games. Picture with me, everyone, if you will, in your head, Frankenstein. I'm pretty sure we all picture a very similar thing, tall, a little green grayish skin, bulbs at the neck, arms outstretched, right? That image that you're picturing in your head did not exist until right where you're standing right here. This is the Court of Miracles. Most of our classic monsters filmed some of their scenes right here. In fact, in Mary Shelley's book, he has human features, he has pearly white teeth, he has yellowish skin. All of that image was only exists because of this area. Dracula, Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, almost all of them filmed some of that right over here. It was usually when the villagers were grabbing torches and pitchforks to drive the monster out of like a town or a castle or a lab or a forest or wherever they happened to be terrorizing. But this is where they were gathering right here. And then down that way, it's a little bit different. In the third Pirates of the Caribbean, there's a scene where Johnny Depp loses his hat and there's like a big ballroom brawl going on. So he's trying to dodge the attacks but get his hat back. That was that little plaza right there. In the movie, they were inside of a bar. The way they did it is very, very sneaky. They took a chandelier. They had 4 big cables that were suspending the chandelier in the middle of the air. Then they lower the camera angle so that all you see is the bottom of the chandelier and your brain goes, oh, we're inside a building because chandeliers don't float. So they turned this open air plaza into a nighttime bar and they had a whole choreographed fight scene right in there. Crazy. Any questions about this? Does any of this look maybe a little bit familiar? Maybe the Magical Kingdom over there, any of that? Beautiful. Feel free to snap a couple photos. We'll get back on the trolley. Again, I know Lena, but I did my best.
Look, they're sweet.
He looks very upset.
Oh, I told you to take that behind his
Oh,
eyes.
ganito pala paano pag ganun
That's
ng
what the
train.
FBI?
Yeah, we're about the human remains.
That's
Ayan,
him.
ayan siya.
Right over there.
Yan.
You alright?
Yeah.
So as you can...
Oh, oh.
Don't worry guys, I'm with him for this all time in my entire life. You got lots of tremors. I could be wrong. Just give me the big one, hold on. If you have me, I'm confessing now, Peter. I've always loved you.
Oh, shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, wow. Oh my god.
You've got fire, you've got propane gasoline, you've got sparks. Looks like you might have some exposed electrical wiring on your right. Oh, there it is. We might even have a derailed subway train. Listen to their screams of terror. Officers. Alright, I know that was scary, but at least we didn't get wet, right? Oh wait. I think it's time that we roll on out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause. You just survived earthquake, the big one. A simulated 8.3 on the Richter scale. If you're not familiar, that is a massive earthquake. Normally, special effects of that size can take weeks to build and film and edit, but once it's on screen, it's pretty amazing.
What's going on?
Alright, so living in California has taught me a couple things. First off, the only way to really recover from an earthquake is a nice trip to the beach. So, I'm going to take you guys to my favorite beach. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Amity Island. Don't worry about that sign. No one's just fixed it. It's perfectly open. Now, I know what you're thinking. Robert, wasn't there like a big shark problem? And don't worry, we caught the shark. Now it's just this fun, jaunty area. And then that's the end and there's nothing more. So you can see where the shark is hanging right there on your right hand side. We've got a hotel, a boathouse. Truly nothing bad could ever happen here. Not again. Hello? Oh guys, that diver in the water, that's my buddy George. Hi George! George loves playing with the sharks, guys. Classic George. Oh no! Oh no! Oh guys, this is George's last day before retirement. He had 12 children. You know what? There's nothing we can do. Let's just roll forward. I feel like we'll be a lot safer behind these tanks of gasoline. I told you my tour was going to be lit. You know, you think that would get old, but it really doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Bruce the Shark, named after the shark from the Jaws film. Does anyone know where the original Jaws shark got his name? Steven Spielberg's attorney, Bruce, and Spielberg swore he was a shark his entire career. That is a real story and not a joke. If you've seen the movie Finding Nemo, the shark in that movie, also Bruce. It's part of a long lineage of Bruce the Shark. I will say though, our mechanical shark is a lot more reliable than the movie Bruce. The very first day of production, they put the shark into the water. It sank to the bottom of the ocean. All in all, set them about 4 months behind schedule. 4 months. We didn't film Jaws here. It was filmed off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, but we have used this area for filming. In fact, alright, you saw it on screen. Here it is in real life. The original Psycho house. Oh, hello Norman. You're looking well. Or perhaps a little unwell. Who can say? And then we're just going to drive through. Yep. This is the set of Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. On your left, that is a real Boeing 747 airplane. It was purchased by the War of the Worlds production for roughly $60,000. But it was a retired airplane, meaning it couldn't fly. So to get it to the studio from just outside of California, it cost them about $250,000 in shipping and handling. And they cut it into they cut it into several pieces and they sliced off the roof. If you're wondering, it is on the right-hand side, leaning up against the house. That is the roof of the airplane. I've been told that it was their original idea to reassemble the plane once they got to LA, and Spielberg saw the pieces and was like, no, this is way scary. Let's just leave it like this.
And in fact, the buildings on your right-hand side, these are all based off of a real neighborhood in New Jersey. At the beginning of the movie, they film on location in the real neighborhood, and then they just constructed
a real airplane.
burned down, essentially versions here. We even had a group that took a tour a couple of years ago, and they had a photo. They're like, oh, this is my street, I live here. They had a photo of their house was right where the tree behind you would have been. Now, when Spielberg finished here, again, if you remember what we said, you gotta clean it up unless we like it better. Spielberg came to Universal and said, hey, we can either take this away or you can just keep it for your tour. And Universal was like, yeah, we'll keep it. He said, great. My only thing is you cannot film here for 5 years. I don't want anyone else seeing the plane outside of War of the Worlds. So we waited 5 years. Once it was done, if anyone watches the Netflix TV show Love, one of the characters is filming a movie, and this is the set. America's Next Top Model did a post-apocalyptic runway show right over there. If you're a fan of Nicki Minaj or Rihanna, they filmed their music video Fly on your left, right there with the tail of the plane. They've also used this for Angie Tribeca with Rashida Jones. And one of my very favorite things, once or twice a year, they use this area to test search and rescue dogs. So what they'll do is they'll take a bunch of actors, they'll sort of give them like fake blood makeup as if they were in an accident, then they'll hide them around this area. Then they'll release all of the dogs to see if they can find them like they would in a real disaster situation. So important training, but it just looks like a bunch of cute dogs running around this giant plane crash. The log cabin on your left was built for The Great Outdoors starring John Candy. You might recognize this theme song right here. Got it.
Oh, yung bahay na.
That cabin's also been used for the film Shooter, starring Mark Wahlberg. If you've seen the movie, you know that the end it gets blown up. But we still have ours here. It's because they built a miniature version and then exploded that one. It was also used for Star Trek Picard with Patrick Stewart, the CBS series. And anyone here ever watch The Voice? Almost any time that Blake Shelton is at his country home, he's really on the patio with an acoustic guitar. I've literally seen them stage that promo because for about 25 years that building was right behind us over here. It wasn't until about April that they had a company come in and pick up the entire building. I was giving a tour as a giant crane was lowering the cabin into its new home. The reason that we moved it here is because, if you guys haven't heard, we're building Super Nintendo Land. It's hopefully going to open next year. Where that is, we used to have like 4 sound stages, so they tore that down to build a theme park. So to add more sound stages, they got rid of our transportation department. So to get rid of our transportation department, they moved them right over here. It was just a big reshuffle of everything. Now as we pull out, take a look to your right-hand side. You'll see that giant blue wall with a cement pit in front of it. That is one of the world's largest freestanding CGI screens, and that cement pit in front has like 2 or 3 tiers. We can fill it with water. It takes about 12 hours. This section of the lot is called Falls Lake, and it's usually used for big, over-the-top special effects scenes. Great example, if you've seen the film Sully, starring Tom Hanks, about the plane that crashed into the Hudson River. From this scene, the plane is real, the water is real, the people are real, Tom Hanks is very real. The only thing that's not real is the city skyline, because it was literally right behind you. This production, amazing. You see that plane right there? The plane that they had for the film was on a rotating platform. If you're familiar with the Hudson River, one side is New York and one side is New Jersey. So they would rotate the plane, and depending on what angle the camera was seeing the plane, the editors would decide whether you were seeing New York or New Jersey. Insane. The same area, I have a little montage here. There we go. So, originally, Falls Lake did not look like this. It was mostly more of, oh, let's try that again. It was more of a swampy area. It is where Norman Bates dumped his victim's car at the end of Psycho. It wasn't until right here. So Jaws the Revenge, that is the 4th Jaws. Did you guys know that there were 4 Jaws? Because I didn't until I worked here. The 4th Jaws is where they were like, you know what, filming in the ocean, it's really loud, it's really expensive, we don't have a lot of control, so let's go to a more controlled environment. So they renovated this area to make it the Falls Lake that you see here, but in the 1980s they did not have CGI. So if you look at the screen, That is a completely painted on skyscape that he is standing in front of. That's not even my favorite part. To make the water, it was supposed to be set in the Caribbean, so to make the water look like that, they added in blue dye to change the color. But one of their main stars was Michael Caine. Michael Caine is platinum blonde. So when he dove in and resurfaced, they had dyed his hair blue. They had to pull him out of the water, wash him down, and then if you watch that movie, if you go back and watch the fourth Jaws, there are multiple scenes where Michael Caine was just in the water, and now he's magically dry, because a lot of time had passed between those two shots. So here is Tom Hanks in Apollo 13, and here is Tom Hanks in Sully. Around here we have a saying, do not fly with Tom Hanks. You will never get where you're going. So I know we saw Bruce Almighty, that is where he inherited his powers and he's walking on water. Lena also talked to you a little bit about this.
Tell you who I am, boy.
Tell us who we're looking for.
This is Agent Novak with an FBI alert about individuals who are not authorized to be involved in the witness protection operation I'm heading up with my FBI team. Be on alert for Dominic Toretto, an ex-convict who has broken laws throughout the U.S. and around the world. Despite his checkered past, Toretto and his crew were recruited by Agent Luke Hobbs to assist U.S. diplomatic security missions and was granted a pardon for the crimes he committed. Is a street racer and mechanic on Dom's crew. She's particularly vicious when protecting Dom. Her ordeals have impaired her memory, but she always remembers two things. She's got Dom's back.
Members, Roman Pierce, fill you in on everything you need to know.
You just got here. Alright, I got it. Well, listen, hello, beautiful people, particularly you in this third row. My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Sean for a while. Brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over. It's a little messy, but it's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in that third row, like I was saying. So look, see over there? It's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. That work of art back over there is made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels.
Extra. So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, and one. Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
So like I was saying, the third row, right? Saying how much?
Alright, before we roll inside, here's what you gotta do. Grab your 3D glasses, but don't put them on just yet. I promise I will let you know exactly when you'll need them. But once again, if you have any small bags, purses, phones, waters, or children, I would hold onto them tightly. As true to form, this LA party gets just a little bit out of hand. In fact, here's a little party music to get you in the mood.
Yo! Tengo Calderón.
Welcome to the party, y'all.
There's FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over.
You know how long that took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not...
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
Got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of this.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate. Sean traced us. Ops can't hold forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door. Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Alright, pretty glasses on everyone. Stay seated, hold on tight. It's about to be a very bumpy ride. Supercharged! Let's hear from the crew, yo.
Good job, everybody. You protected the witness and you can resume breathing.